Hey guys, so today we're making spinach and shrimp stuffed chicken breast, and I'm gonna be pairing it with a yummy Cajun shrimp sauce to go on top. So without further ado, let's get started with the recipe. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm doing is making my filling. So in this bowl right here, I have some shrimp and I'm gonna season it with some Cajun seasoning, some onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of black pepper, and a little bit of salt, and mix that with the shrimp really well. Next, I'm gonna saute my shrimp for about 1 to 2 minutes on each side. I'm not looking for the shrimp to be fully cooked at this step because I'm gonna bake it afterwards. Okay, so I put a little bit of oil in the pot, just cooking the shrimp on each side for about 1 to 2 minutes, halfway cooking it basically. Then you're gonna remove the shrimp off the stove, and in this bowl right here I have some baby spinach leaves, some cream cheese, softened cream cheese, and some shredded mozzarella cheese. All right, and I'm just gonna mix all of that with the shrimp. Okay, so I added in the shrimp. If you want, you can cut the shrimp into smaller pieces before you add it in. All right, and you're gonna mix that until you have a nice creamy kind of filling. All right, you also want to season it a little bit, so I seasoned mine with some Cajun seasoning, a little bit of black pepper, and onion and garlic powder, and just mix it really well, guys. So next we're gonna season up our chicken breast. So I have 2 chicken breasts here that I already washed, and I started seasoning it, but before I finish seasoning it, I'm gonna cut the pocket in the middle of my chicken breast using a knife. So you want to make like a pocket, a nice hole in the middle of the chicken breast. Okay, just be careful, don't cut your hands. Then I'm gonna finish seasoning the chicken breast on both sides. So I'm seasoning it with some Cajun seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and a little bit of adobo seasoning. Make sure you season both sides. And then the next step, you guys, is to start stuffing the chicken breast with the spinach and shrimp filling. Okay, so you want to add a good amount in there, so just use your spoon or a knife to help you and stuff it in there really well. I added a good amount in there. Okay, and for this recipe, the filling that we're making, it could make about at least 4 chicken breasts. Okay, so stuff it really well depending on how much filling you add in there. And then after we stuff our chicken, we're gonna get ready to start cooking it. Alright guys, so I'm using my cast iron skillet to cook the chicken breast because I'm gonna pan sear it first to give it that nice color, and then we're gonna finish cooking it by baking it in the oven. So I'm using my cast iron skillet. I'm getting it nice and hot. I drizzle in a little bit of oil here. I'm using canola oil to coat the bottom of my pan. Once it was hot, you want to add in the chicken breast, and from here we're gonna pan sear it for about 3 minutes on each side. What you're looking for at this step is for that nice brown crust, a nice golden brown color on both sides. So while you're doing that, you can preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and once you finish searing the chicken breast on both sides, you're going to bake it into the oven at 375 degrees until the chicken is fully cooked. I baked mine for about 35 to 40 minutes. Okay, so while the chicken is cooking, we're going to make our creamy Cajun shrimp sauce to go with the chicken breast. So the shrimp in this pot is what was left over from the filling. All right, I didn't use all of the shrimp in my filling. I cooked enough so that I'll have some left over for the sauce. So you want to do that when you're making the filling as well. Okay, so I have that in the pot, and remember it's halfway cooked, so I added in some minced garlic with the shrimp, and I let that cook for about 2 more minutes. Then I'm gonna start adding in my cream. So I'm adding in some half and half. You could also use heavy cream. Heavy cream is just a little bit creamier, and it's gonna thicken faster than the half and half. So I added in my half and half, and I'm giving everything a mix. Then I'm going to season the sauce with some Cajun seasoning, and you could also add other seasoning here as well if you feel like your sauce needed. So you could add some onion and garlic powder, a little bit of salt, black pepper, whatever you need to make your sauce taste amazing. Okay, and then we're gonna mix the seasoning in with the sauce really well. And at this point, we're waiting for the sauce to come to a slight boil and simmer until it thickens. While I'm waiting for the sauce to start simmering, I'm gonna add in a little bit of diced tomatoes. I'm using diced tomatoes from the can. You can use that, or you can use some tomato sauce. Okay, a little bit of tomato sauce, and I'm gonna mix that into my sauce. Once the sauce starts to simmer, I'm gonna start adding in my Parmesan cheese. And basically, you guys, when I'm adding the Parmesan cheese into the sauce, I add enough to make it creamy and thick, but don't overdo it, because when the sauce cools, it does get even thicker. Okay, so just keep that in mind. And add in your cheese, add in as much as you'd like. And once the sauce thickens and it's nice and creamy and it tastes amazing, that is it. You can turn off the stove and set it aside. Alright guys, so while we're waiting for the chicken to finish baking, I'm going to show you how I made the asparagus that I paired with this. Okay, so I got my prepared baking sheet. I sprayed it with some nonstick cooking spray. I preheated my oven to 375 degrees, the same oven I'm baking the chicken in. And I have my asparagus on the baking sheet. So I already washed my asparagus, cleaned it, and I'm gonna season it with some Cajun seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, a little bit of salt, and black pepper. Mix that in the asparagus. I also drizzle it with a little bit of oil, and I'm just gonna place that in the oven to bake until my asparagus is cooked to a texture that I like. So that depends on whether you want it really soft and tender or more on the crisp side. Okay, and back to the chicken. It's finished cooking, and this is how it's looking. It looks so good and it tastes amazing. So yeah, you guys, after this step, all that's left to do is to top the chicken with the shrimp sauce that we made. All right, and after that, cut and enjoy, you guys. That is it. Today I paired my stuffed chicken breast with some creamy mashed potatoes. I'll link that recipe down below for you guys as well, and my asparagus, and it was amazing. So that is it for today's recipe, you guys. I hope you guys give this recipe a try. You guys don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so you can see my upcoming videos when I post them. Thank you guys so much for supporting, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.